Hello there. We've got one more interesting guest. Today we are hosting Anna Chorna, and our space is ready to hear her incredible stories. Anna, could you please say a few words about yourself?
Hey guys, first it's very nice to be here, and that's probably my second ever podcast interview yet, like in life. So the experience is great. I'm Anna. I live between two countries, so I'm like a constant traveler for the past years. And like my main occupation, I work as an operations manager. It means that I cover all the processes and teams and companies' operations, like being in charge of almost everything. But for the past year, I wanted to start something like side and to express what I want to do in life because I wanted to create my ideas and to make them come true. So that's why today I will be not as an operations manager here, but as a person who started kind of it's a co-working and a space for event in Kharkiv with my sister, and it's called Co-Sisters. So that's why I'm being here to share my experience about it.
The idea of a co-working space, how did it come to you? How did this idea occur? And was it a spontaneous decision? Was it something thoroughly planned?
Yeah, that's a cool question because I've got a story for that. The introduction to all of this, my sister and I, we both work remotely in different companies in different directions. She's a sales manager, and like we've been working for remotely for years. Maybe I've been working remotely for like 7 years. I had a part when I worked, had a part of my life when I worked in office, but it wasn't still like this kind of mm, full-time job in an office. And I didn't have
I
this
get it.
experience of, yeah, but still we had the schedule, like that we had to stick to, and we had this commitment, but it wasn't like 9 to 5. And since I travel between countries, so I live in Switzerland and in Ukraine, when I'm in Ukraine, I lack like being among people, and I can't work at home. Like that's what I understood in the past year. I work at home in Switzerland, and I'm like very close to here because I don't have many like activities around. So I'm like, done with being at home and combining this work-life balance within one apartment. So getting back to this story, that was a Friday, and I went to Trattoria. That's like a cafe that we have in our region, and
It's a very well-known place for everyone who lives in Kharkiv, I would say.
I guess that people who listen to this podcast and this audio probably are from Kharkiv, or most of them are. So I think that they would know Trattoria, and but that's Trattoria in my region, not like Naukova, because I know that many people like the Naukova part. That's like just near my home. So I went to Trattoria to work again. I sat at the table, I started working, and I was like, oh my God, this music, people like, going around,
Yeah,
and I can have a
sure.
call. And I was sitting and thinking about this whole thing. And then I checked the window and I saw that there is a car with the numbers that are very familiar to me. And I realized that my sister is somewhere near because that's her car.
Huh.
But we didn't arrange any meetings. So she was just
So wait, you
accidentally.
recognized the number plate on a car, and that's how you understood that your sister was there, not because you saw your sister.
Yes, yes. I was
Oh my
just,
God.
like looking somewhere, but not in Trattoria. That's how attention works. You look somewhere far, but not somewhere close. And yeah, and I realized that my sister wasn't in Trattoria at that time. And I actually just texted her, like, where are you? Because I didn't see her like near. And then she was like in a hidden place somewhere at the table that wasn't very like close to mine. And I just invited her to sit with me. And then we started discussing that we both work like right now and we have this. We even like we were so concentrated on work that we didn't see each other in Trattoria when we came to that place. And then I just sat and said to her that, hey, I want to work somewhere, like not at home. I want to have an office. And she said, yeah, I want to have an office too. That was on Friday. And generally in my life, I create ideas very fast, like maybe even every day. I have a spreadsheet with business ideas, like 31 business ideas. But that was like Sisters is the first project that was executed in 4 days because on Friday we created this idea. We started searching the places, and on Wednesday we already moved in.
This is
And
really mind-blowing.
yeah, but what's interesting, like because that was just supposed to be in our office where we worked, and we didn't think of having some kind of project or like business ideas, just an office to work for us both, where we could leave our stuff and create a place for productivity, but not to mix it with kitchen or bathroom or whatever we have at home. And when we started searching the places, we saw several of them. They were good, but when we entered the one that we where we are right now, like we realized that that's very cool. Like it has
Love at the first sight.
yeah, it was love at first sight because there was a beautiful view and we saw the whole Kharkiv, and like in terms of our conditions and war being active in Kharkiv, that's a bit dangerous because we see all the regions that were attacked and are being attacked. But it's beautiful. Like you see it in the morning, in the evening, and like, it's just beautiful. It's sunny all the time. The space is new, and it's not like, because we searched the places that were like in some old buildings or old regions, and it wasn't that inspiring. But that's like Space Hall. It's like an office building where people like go around. They are all busy, and
Sure.
you feel this energy of work. So when we chose that location, that was far more expensive than we expected. We decided that if we do that, we need to monetize it somehow. And the first two ideas that came to our minds were co-working, because we work there, so we can actually invite more people to work with us because there are many spaces. And the other idea was to have events, because I'm
to run this place,
like,
right?
just to use this place and space, because we put all we really invested our souls there, because there are like furniture that we created with our ideas to make this kind of separating
Soundproof.
blocks.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask you about this soundproof blocks. And you and your sister Elvina, you were saying that this is your own innovation. But how is it possible that you came up with this idea?
No, I think that's possible too. Just an off-topic thing. Yesterday, I checked in the news that some guy from Canada or the US created a, I'm not sure even how to call it, like some kind of reactor at home. So, but he used the ChatGPT. That's what we did as well. But like the
Okay.
idea was very simple. We just searched because we knew that like we face this issue ourselves, and I think that's how the best probably like ideas are created, when you
Sure.
understand the need like in your life, you understand that
Needs
it's
and
not
pains.
fulfilled.
Yeah.
Yeah, needs and pain. Yeah, we call it pain points. And so we just saw that we work together and we distract each other by speaking to like our colleagues and having some virtual meetings. So we decided that if we work together, we need to like set some kind of co-working conditions. We checked how co-workings work, what they have in terms of soundproof things. Of course, there are like solutions that cover soundproof ceiling, soundproof walls, soundproof blocks. But
That's level.
yeah, that's next level, and we do not feel like our main direction probably is events, so we don't need to like create a soundproof space. We just need to create a space that will be okay to work in. And people who go to co-working, they do not usually use like calls, meetings that often to have this level of soundproofness. So we just checked their solutions, what other co-workings do. We checked the prices. We understood that that wouldn't work for us, and we just searched with ChatGPT that, hey, we have this solution, how to make it at home. And he actually she I don't know, it gave us the answer. And we used our, because my sister's mom, my aunt, she has great hands. She can do everything, and we just came up with materials. We searched materials that would be soundproof, searched like the fabric that would match the colors, like just simple simple steps taken by
Yeah, when you
ChatGPT,
call it
guided.
simple, that really doesn't sound like that. It really sounds very creative. It does.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
ChatGPT proves itself one more time to be a useful thing.
Yeah.
So you've launched your project. It exists. Co-Sisters is an official name. It's an official place, and you can rent it, and you can work there, and you can actually hold your events there. What about the events that you already held? Can you tell us something about them?
Yeah. So event, that's where we actually stopped and changed our conversation to health and ChatGPT. Because when we thought of co-working, that's something that we already did in that space. But events, it was something that I wanted to do a lot. My sister was like, just, yeah, let's do it. She was probably excited as well, but this motivation and like, I don't know, intrinsic motivation wasn't on my side. I wanted to hold events because I always liked it, and I liked to organize things, and I liked to gather people together. Because in Kharkiv especially, I think that people like it, and lots of people moved somewhere, and so things changed, and we still had to kind of socialize and to fulfill this need. That's why the idea of events was born in my head. And it was difficult to start, to be honest. It was very difficult because I'm a perfectionist and I still cannot get rid of it. I'm a perfectionist in a bad way, because that's what stops me from making steps and acting, actually. Like, I have lots of ideas and I want to make them come true, but I just cannot start because I think that it's not good enough. It's not ready enough, and it needs to be beautiful. That's why I like your Instagram page, because you do so much and you do it in a very cool way. And I just understand that the project that I started really just, it inspires me, because I'm not afraid, probably. I don't feel that it's ready enough, like my ideas, because all of the projects that I have, they are still the launch is in Instagram, because you explain your services, you explain about your projects there, so it's kind of a sales platform. That's why I use this comparison with your profile, because you do a lot and you start and you take actions. That's cool. That's an example for me.
I just want to say that I've been feeling the same way that you've just described my whole life, and I'm still there. Like, this is the idea of having an idea and then launching something. They are two different activities, and I am constantly afraid of starting something new. I came to the point when I accept that it's all right to fail, and nothing happens with me, with my self-respect or self-confidence, if I fail, because I had so many fails. But I totally get this fear, and I still get it each time. And then I just remember this thought or this feeling: if I fail again, I'll just try something new again. So practice helps, but I wouldn't say that this fear disappears. At least in my case, it didn't disappear.
It's beautiful, because I like this phrase that being brave, it's not about not having fears. It's about going into these fears or facing them, or acting to overcome them. So yeah, you're a good example of that. My fear was also powered by fear of judgment from people around. I was thinking that
this is so inspiring.
That's why I understood with co-sisters that for me that was an insight that I got, because before I think that I had some kind of I don't know, level that I need to I need to live, expectations that I need to live up
to live up to someone's expectations.
Yeah, to mine and to others, and that was difficult because to make this first step, I know that it may be not ideal, and I know that some people may think oh my God, what are you doing? That's so simple. Why do you do this? It's it's I had this idea more in another project, because it's really simple, like a shop of something, nothing interesting. And I had this fear, and I guess that for me the remedy was support from people, from you, for example, because I didn't expect that so many people would text something, would react to it, would say, yeah, let's organize it, I will help, I will join. So I think that you are right, that making this first step when you don't have this experience before, and you don't know whether this fail is going to be that painful or not, making this first step is very important, because after that you will know that experience that you had proves that even if you have a fail, people will actually support you, or people won't judge you. And the people who will judge, they are probably not your people. You are not on the same way. Yeah, so that's why the first event was difficult, because we wanted to make it perfect. We wanted to fit it in our idea, because the idea is to create productivity, for self-development, for other things. So the event had to have some kind of topic that resonates with this direction. And what was probably the most painful for me, I was afraid that people wouldn't come. We still have limited spaces. Probably it's something that you may also feel. I remember about the groups that we had, and I was always afraid that like a few people, it means that I'm a bad teacher or I'm a bad person.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be with me. So
I will
this
be
is like
never
an
loved. I
awful
will
thing.
die alone. This is the end
Yeah.
process, and thought the process of this, of this torturing
Yeah.
of myself. I get it. A fear of rejection, a fear of not being loved, and
Mhm.
somehow this idea of making the people not coming or people not responding to the idea, making it equal to the fact that I'm not likable or I'm not worth something. How come that we are being adults, being mature people? How come we still believe in this? I, don't-
That's I
I
don't
totally
know.
get it. I feel you.
I don't know. And the most interesting here, we are worse, and we have like so much experience. We are like, if we just again, one phrase that I like a lot: if you look at yourself with the eyes of the person who admires you, you won't have these thoughts at all. Like, just try to look at yourself this way, but still we do it. So I don't know how it works. Probably it makes perfection still, because if we like, didn't have this, we wouldn't we wouldn't be improving, we wouldn't be changing ourselves. So it helps, but in some ways it's a bit destructive. And do you cope with that? Do you have it still in your groups, in your in your activities?
Yeah, this fear of rejection is something that I constantly face, but I would say that because of this topic being so actual in my life, I was in therapy, and this was one of the topics that I was working through. I can say that I'm aware of this, and I can recognize when it appears. So now it's not just a feeling of frustration or me being desperate. Now I know, this is me thinking that if someone leaves the group, it's I kind of take it personally, and I think that it automatically makes me not a good teacher, or it kind of it cancels all the experience, all the good things that I've done previously in my life. And I look at it and I know that I'm thinking this, and I know that this is not the truth. And if required, I can find proof otherwise. That helps. But this first moment, this emotion coming back, because it's automatic, quite honest, to be quite honest, it comes again and
Mhm.
again.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah, the same. But I like that. I agree that when you recognize it, it's easier, because you know that, okay, this is my emotion, and like it's with me. I'm just, we need to stay together for some time, and then it will it will be transformed somewhere, or just it will leave. And we had this. I'm not sure about my sister. I think that she had the same feeling. Probably my perfection was a bit. I don't know. I was thinking about it more, because I wanted to launch the page perfectly. I wanted to launch the event perfectly. I wanted to that people, all the people that had to come, they would come. And we actually didn't have enough people. I mean, like, we had the room full, but still it wasn't like the core audience, I would say, like the target audience. The target audience wasn't like exactly all the people who joined, but still we had I think that understanding that even if you face it, you will find a way out, and it will still be interesting, because it was good. It was nice. The first event, so just for people to understand, that it was dedicated to launching your blog, or launching your project in social
Quite
media. How
symbolic.
to how to make it from the marketing perspective. And we also talked about some fears and some how to make it a disciplined thing, but not something that you make good and then you disappear for some time, then you again uh, make it fine, but still you disappear. So just to make it like a system. Sometimes it may be like bad, sometimes it may be good. So that was the first event. We invited my friend Valerie, who I cooperated with her on another project, and she's a good like marketing expert, and I love her knowledge. She has her charisma. I like it a lot, because
Yeah.
she touches everyone in different ways. And we talked about launching some kind of blog or project, and we had initially we had only offline, but then we decided to join to add people online, and that was also good, because that was kind of support from other people, and it was interesting to combine it. I think that we can continue doing that, because before, initially when we launched to this direction, we didn't think of online. We wanted to make it fully offline to like have this kind of networking to feel people. And that's what happened after we finished the event. We finished that kind of the theoretical part. We started talking and discussing different things, different ideas and backgrounds. It was nice. It was very cool. I understood that probably that's the best part of events that I like networking and talking to people. So that was good. That was the first event, and held by us, because we can hold events like on our side fully when we create the topic, when we invite the guest, when we organize the process, when we like gather people, all the parts. And the other part of this direction is when we organize the event for someone. So the like, an expert or a person who holds some events, we just provide them with the space, with some supplies, and help them organize like, physically. And they cover all their sites, like topic and people, and that's all. That
It's a
was the
win-win
second.
situation.
Yeah. Agree, because lots of people who hold events in Kharkiv, they choose cafes, and they try to do that in cafes, but still it won't give you some privacy. It won't give like it won't fulfill all the needs that probably these people have for an event. And that's how we started the second event we had. That was a girl who had her workshop on candles, how to make candles, and how to make them with different like
So cozy.
yeah, so it was nice. And we took part as a person, as a host of this event, like as a space that hosted that event. Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify one thing. When saying that you launched your first event quite soon, like almost immediately after starting your page on Instagram, how old exactly was your co-sister brand at that moment? Like less than a month, or like how old?
Yeah.
How long have you been working?
Yeah, the point is that we always stick to my schedule, because I'm not always in Kharkiv, and we were limited in time when we can host that event, because I was leaving again. And so we started, I'm not sure of the date, by the way. It's good to check it. I remember that now I count my life in trips to Switzerland, to Ukraine. So it was like my trip before my I don't know how to even calculate it. Somewhere in October, November, I guess we rented, and we started just like organizing the space, thinking of the furniture, started working together there. We wanted to launch the event almost. We didn't have enough time. I remember that Friday when we created the idea, Wednesday we moved in, and the week after I left. So it was just 1 week when I had managed to work in the space, but it was nice.
Wow.
And when I came back, we had only 1 month to launch the project, to launch the profile, and to organize the event. And the event was organized like in a week, probably something like
So
that.
just in retrospective, looking back at this at the speed of the events, this is really, really fast. And when you say that, for example, the audience was not totally core, or like maybe there was room for improvement, think about it. A lot of companies actually, when they begin, they need, let's say, years, sometimes 2 years, 3 years to do something actively with public, for public, and yeah,
Agree.
I see
I think
this is
yeah,
a success.
Thank you. We need this probably validation from other people, especially I do, because I still have this. I'm used to comparing with other people, with other stories, in a good and a bad way. That's that's the main habit I want to get rid of. Like I like all my habits, but this one that doesn't give me motivation. That gives me like this kind of lack of understanding that I'm okay, that what we've done, it's okay, it's enough, it's cool, like we just need to continue. So the motivation, it's a bit different, but thank you. That's like, if we just take it as a retrospective in Kharkiv, where people, like, it's difficult to gather people, especially on the 9th floor of a building that has a very nice location.
I believe that this project has a lot to offer, and this project has a mission. You know, it is something that you do not in order to just prove yourself or to earn money, not just like that.
Yeah, I agree. That's cool to focus on on some kind of mission or some kind of things that you can bring with this project to life, to people. And in these cases, when you start thinking from this perspective, all the comparison and I'm not good enough, that will just go away. That's how I also tried to get rid of these
Refocus.
feelings that refocus, because really people do need socialization in Kharkiv, and just some events. That's cool to maintain self-development even in such conditions, and to understand that people have something to do and people want to develop themselves. Yeah.
I came across this thought that I found truly beautiful, that distraction can be fought with the help of creation. So the opposite of destroying things is creating things.
I like this phrase a lot. That's like an insight I haven't had yet, and I like it. Like, just So you, even if you make this step, even if it's not good, you put this like plus on the way to the side of creating, and it already outweighs the other side.
I would like to ask the last question here, and that might be unexpected, and let's just see where it leads us to. What is your biggest conclusion after launching your own project? It may be something about you looking at yourself, your perspective at life. How does it feel to understand that you have your own project that already exists and that lives its own life? Your conclusion and your feelings about this.
Yeah, I have one. It's super connected with my story. I think that if you ask my sister, that's gonna be a different conclusion for sure. I wanted to be an entrepreneur like for a long time, and I've had many ideas. And it was like after some time when I wasn't making these ideas come true, I wasn't acting. I started to think that like maybe like it's not my way. And with this project, when this idea came, we started doing some actions, taking some actions. I started like feeling that, oh, maybe like right now I will film everything in a different way. My life will change because I wanted to become like a person who has a project. Now my life will change. I will be happy. Like finally, I will be happy. And that's my conclusion. I wasn't happy. I wasn't there wasn't this turning point when everything changed, because just that was the conclusion of my whole year, the past year, that you need to start appreciating what you have right now, and you need to start loving what you have right now. I even have a tattoo. You won't see it, but my new tattoo was dedicated to this idea. You need to want what you have. There is a phrase, and get what. Just I continued that in my way, and get what you want, to have this balance. So I wanted to have a project. I got it, but I didn't want what I had before. That's why I didn't get this satisfaction. And when I realized it, I left. I left this feeling, and it stayed with me for some time. Maybe after that, only I started to to enjoy this process. When I understood that, like, when you dream of something and you want it like so bad, when you get it, probably it won't change your feelings inside very much. Maybe it will, but I think that for most cases it won't do it that much. So right now, that conclusion is pretty big, because it was connected with my year and my other periods of life. Like, what are my feelings of having some kind of project? Probably I understand people who are this memes on Instagram, when people say that I left my 9 to 5 to become an entrepreneur, and now I'm a happy entrepreneur with 24/7 7 days a week and all these things. Because I always think of some ideas. I always think what we can do, how we can create, and how we can develop it. So I like this feeling because it's my rhythm. I think that it's for me. I like this idea that I don't have weekends where I just relax. On the weekends, I think of something, I plan some ideas, and I try to. So that's probably the feeling I have right now. We had a pause for the New Year holidays, and my sister was more energized by the project, and she was pushing me, hey, let's do something, we have a pause, let's do it. And then when my energy came back, right now my feeling is like this. So really I enjoy I enjoy this rush. You know, it's like rush before Christmas or New Year when you like
Yeah,
rush things and
yeah.
you want to buy presents, and this is something like that, similar to it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pleasant rush. I see that this is something about, again, about doing something that inspires you. It's not just doing something, because sometimes there is a rush because of deadlines, because of meeting someone's expectations, because of someone's tasks. But this is coming from you. This is yours. This is truly yours. I get it.
Yeah, agree. I wish that everyone has this feeling of joy of
Yeah.
something that they are doing. Yeah.
I say that it's a wonderful conclusion for our podcast. Thank you very much. And thank you for listening to us. We'll meet you next time with the next guest. Interesting. Who will it be?